Problem 2, exercise 7.3 in your text, problem 2 on Connect, talks about a small gardening business that uses activity-based costing. As a practitioner with lots of years of experience, especially with small businesses, I have to chuckle. I just can't imagine sitting down and talking to a guy with a lawn service about activity-based costing. But we're going to pretend that it happens. Well, Green Thumb Gardening is a small gardening service that uses activity-based costing to estimate costs for pricing and other purpose. The other purpose being to give somebody who writes textbooks something to talk about. The proprietor of the company believes the costs are driven primarily by the size of customer lawns. So we need that, square feet of lawns. The size of the customer garden beds. The distance to travel. So we have the square feet of beds. And he breaks that down into high maintenance and low maintenance. I've had friends like that. And then it says, in addition, the cost of beds depends on whether the beds are low maintenance, which we did in blue, which are basically trees. I don't know how you maintain a tree. You say, yep, it's a tree. And high maintenance beds, which means exotic plants, perhaps some of the variety that you're now allowed to smoke in Pennsylvania, I don't know. Anyhow, they also go on to say that the distance to travel, so that's miles, and basically the number of customers. So billing and that sort goes to the number of customers. So this lawn guy, well, he was sitting around in January waiting to cut grass, dreamt this up. He's saying, of my overhead, the total overhead that I have goes into these 5 areas. And this is the way I want to apply it. So we're going to do that. We're going to come up with the activity cost. Now these numbers are the total overhead costs. Okay? And he looks at his bills, he looks at his job sheets, he looks at whatever he has, and he says, well, caring for lawn, that's the size of customers' lawns. We're going to do that per square feet. The bigger the lawn, the more time it takes to cut. That makes sense. The big thing about activity-based costing is once you get over the fact that it looks really complicated, it really does make sense. Caring for low maintenance beds, I mean, this is basically going out and looking and saying, yep, that's a tree. But it still would be how many trees you're looking at, the total square feet of low maintenance beds. And he's saying that it cost me roughly $26,400 last year to handle low maintenance beds. And it says the high maintenance beds, last year we had 15,000 square feet of those, and they cost us $41,400 in overhead. Now these are not direct costs. These are not traceable costs. That's why we're allocating them. He says we drove 12,500 miles to customers at 26 cents a mile. Well, if he can drive to a customer for 26 cents a mile, I think he's smoking grass and not cutting it. But we'll make pretend that's possible. And last year, quoth our thrifty gardener, he said, I spent $3,250 driving to and from customers, and in total I had 25 customers. I will be the first to admit to you this is a lot of work for a business with 25 customers. Perhaps instead of doing all this nonsense activity-based costing, he should go out and try to sell some more lawn care. But that's a different chapter. So let's take a look and figure this out. The caring for lawn, the overhead cost was $72,000. I'm just going to copy down these numbers here so that I don't have to flip back and forth like I did on the last problem. And you could say, well, why didn't I redo the last one? Easy. I'm lazy. So there's our costs. And now I'm going to write down the activity drivers. So I have 150,000, 20,000, 15,000, 12,500 miles, and 25 customers. So 150,000, and that's square feet of lawn. And we have 20,000 square feet low maintenance. And we have 15,000 square feet high maintenance. We traveled 12,500 miles. That's how we're determining that. And we have 25 customers. And if we didn't waste our time doing all this silliness, we could have a lot more customers. Just my opinion, I could be wrong. So, let's apply this stuff. So, take 72,000, our overhead cost, divide it by 158,000. We come up with 48 cents per foot per square foot. We take 26,400, our overhead cost, divided by our 20,000 square feet activity level. We come up with $1.32 per square foot. Our high maintenance beds, and there are just way too many puns or wisecracks to making that, I'm leaving them all alone, is 41,400 divided by 15,000. That's $2.76 per square foot. High maintenance beds, travel to jobs, 26 cents per mile. And 25 customers divided in 875, $350 per customer. So that's what they asked us to do. We took our costs, we took all our overhead, we took our expected activity level, and we made our first stage allocation. We said this is our overhead cost, this is how much we expect in activity, this is how much per foot. The reason you do this is that next year, if this dummy gets off his butt and goes out and sells some more lawns, he can estimate his cost based on how many additional square feet of lawns. His overhead's going to go up by 48 cents per square foot. That's the concept. Remember, it's a management concept.